Thank you.
The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you very much, Mrs. Waters. Although I must say I'm a little confused. I'm not going to frame this as a parliamentary inquiry, but I'm very, very confused. We've just gotten back from a 2-month paid vacation in which federal employees didn't get paid, in which we started a war without congressional approval, in which electricity prices went up for 70 million Americans, in which inflation is rocking along at 3.5%. So I thought we were going to be in this chamber talking about affordability. By the way, my friends on the Republican side just got shellacked in an election from sea to signing she, where the word is affordability. They got shellacked on affordability. And what did we do this week? Congressman Norman, a guy who put a .38 Smith & Wesson on the table when he met with mothers demand action on gun safety, a man who called for martial law to stop the peaceful transfer of power, to stop Joe Biden from becoming president, he decided that Stacey Plaskett should no longer be on the Intelligence Committee. We spent half a day on that. Congresswoman Mace, who is Congresswoman Mace, decided that Corey Mills should no longer be on committees, and apparently we may do another one. So I prepared a speech on affordability. Lots of good ideas on how to make stuff cheaper. It says it right there. Lots of good ideas on how to make stuff cheaper. Good idea number 1, get rid of tariffs, which are a tax on bananas, coffee, vegetables, pasta sauce, pasta, television, automobiles, burgundy, fine French claret for my Republican friends over there. Number 2, stop canceling generation projects which will make electricity cheaper. That was my speech. But instead, we're here to denounce the horrors of socialism. Okay, not what I was prepared to talk about. If I were prepared to talk about it, I would point out, I guess, 2 things. Number 1, if you've ever cracked a book or talked to somebody, you would know that socialism is different than communism. And there have been socialist countries, and the chairman and I both come out of a highly capitalist industry, banking. There are socialist countries that have exhibited horrors like Denmark, like Finland, any number of other socialist countries. Communism, and in fact, if this resolution said communism, I suspect we wouldn't even have to debate it, because who likes communism? Anyway, I would make that point if I were interested in having this debate. Or I might point out, and I welcome the Republican majority and finally cotton on to the fact that we are living in the most socialist administration in 2.5 centuries. What's the definition of socialism? Again, if you crack a book, you'll see that it is state control over the means of production. This president has taken a 10% stake in Intel, a 15% stake in MP Materials, a 10% stake in Lithium America, 10% stake in Trilogy Metals, and we have a golden share in U.S. Steel. State control of the means of production. Madam Ranking Member, may I have one more minute?
I yield additional minute to the gentleman.
The gentleman from Connecticut is recognized for an additional minute.
So if the definition of socialism is political control over the means of production, welcome to the great socialist state of the United States of America. The other definition, by the way, has to do with command and control. Those are words we remember from the communist era. Command and control. Well, holy smokes, there is not a media company, there is not a law firm, there is not a university that has not been subject to the command and control of the Oval Office. The president has demanded money. Looks a little like extortion to me, but in order to avoid making a personality, let's just call it dividends. The president has demanded dividends from any number of companies. This is command and control. So I'm not actually interested in having that debate because I think we would all agree on much of this stuff, including the fact that we are now living in one of the most socialist countries on the planet. But what I really want to do is talk about affordability, which is what the American people care about. And until we're prepared to debate affordability, I yield back. I yield back.
The gentleman from Connecticut yields back. The gentlelady from California reserves.